Welcome to YellBRo. I'm Jordan, and today I'm doing a quasi fan request. This person didn't ask me to make a video; they wanted me to watch the video, and I watched it, and I'm like, oh, let me just make a video out of it. Why not? It's about street epistemology. But first, please remember to share, support, hopefully donate to Devon's Journey to Recovery and Unapologetics GoFundMe. Both links in the description box. Do it. Share it everywhere now. Number 5. It's an inside joke, sorry. All right. So, someone who I've had plenty of arguments with, uh, we've talked about epistemology, and he says, like, oh, there's different forms of it, and the street epistemology thing is something different. And he's like, oh, you haven't even given it a chance. I'm like, all right, let me watch some of these videos, and it's interesting, but I have some critiques. I have critiques with this particular video, and there's a couple of reasons why. Because what I'm looking at here seems like strictly breakdown, almost strictly breakdown. But that's fine. That's fine when discussing things. Uh, so all right. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna watch the video and just because this will be easier for me because there's no interruptions, there's no one like jumping in. I could just fucking watch it and go. So here I go. This is from Anthony Bagnabosco doing street epistemology. Watch people learn street epistemology. Kenneth and Colton. Law of attraction. That's some woo-woo stuff. Some woo-woo I feel like I have an understanding of. Guess what? This is going to be interesting. I actually believe in the law of attraction. Maybe not the secret version of it, but I believe in law of attraction. 100%. All right, so here we go. Kenneth and Colton. Anthony.
So the whole idea is to get people to slow down and think about the things that they think are really true.
That's why I don't believe in, I've never believed in the power of attraction. Well, I have before, but I definitely don't now. I think it's a big old load of BS. I don't think like that.
You believe in it and you don't.
Secret.
Can I teach you street epistemology?
I read that book when I didn't read the book. I read different like I would open it up and you could see chapters like how to make money, and I'm like, skip. And it's like, whatever, your dream come true. How do you do that? I'm like, okay, let me just look into this because it's interesting. I don't know. There's this time in my life where I fell in love with people saying things. I fell in love with ideas, looking at ideas from any direction about any topic. Right? This is around the time where I'm like, I found a love for movies because I found out people were trying to say things with their fucking movies. Like, oh shit, these people are actually trying to say something? Who would be that crazy to try and do that? That's like weird, right? I thought movies were just plot, characters, and action, and cinematography and all, like things to look at and just follow the story for the sake of just that story. It's nothing beyond the movie itself. It's just this movie. And this is one of the things I came across. Some girl had it in her house, like at some house party. It was just on the table. I think it was a girl's house. Whatever. It was on the table, and I'm like, huh. Picked it up, started reading a little bit of it. I'm like, then I found it. I guess I found some form of version online, and started reading it. And I'm like, huh, this is interesting. So I'm like, like a typical scientific mind would like, let me try it. Let me try to wish for something or whatever the fuck. And it's like, huh. It seems like the version they're talking about isn't the actual thing. At the time I'm like, this doesn't seem like, this isn't legit to me at all. And even like the Chappelle joke is probably like, we just stand over a starving African kid and tell him to wish for like food or something. Or you got to use the law of attraction. You're not being positive enough. Then you'll get that food, right? where it's like, that's such a silly idea. But I think there's an actual deeper concept there. I think there is. I think that I believe is real. Truly believe is real. It's your psyche, or at least your subconscious. Or you could say yourself, sort of teaming up with nature to bring events in front of your life. I know it's woo-woo, forgive me. But that's the idea I have in mind. And right, and usually with this idea of law of attraction, people are like, oh, you're wishing for a car and you get a car, you're wishing for this job, you get the job, you're wishing for this or wishing for that, you're getting that thing. I think that's a BS version of it, of this concept of like synchronicity or law of attraction, right? I think that's a bullshit version as opposed to the actual thing, right? Because if you have this whatever, this pathological fear of something, it's like you're going to attract it. That doesn't mean like magic, like a sort of magical beam bringing things into your life. It's more of you're almost guiding yourself towards it, right? Because your subconscious recognizes your fear of dogs, which means you're looking out more for dogs, right? If you have a subconscious, I think I explained this before, or if you have this subconscious fear of whatever it is, now you're a little bit more consciously focused on that thing, which actually can get the ego, right? The thing that's maybe closer to the surface and sees more of the waking life, might be pulling those things in its direction subconsciously, because subconsciously you also want to deal with that fear or that pain or that trauma. Thus you pull those things towards you. It's kind of very practical and not as much of a, like, granted, I think it's a bit of that too, a bit woo-woo, but that's like a practical explanation in my mind. Now that I said all that, which is probably going to be completely irrelevant for this conversation, here we go.
And we could do it with your friend right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's great. So Kenneth will be the questioner and you'll be his conversation partner.
Okay.
Let's
so this is like
make your claim so that we can really understand
like,
what you believe.
Yeah, so I think law of attraction, if you truly believe 100%, it can't be 99 or whatever. Whether it's your subconscious or the universe playing its part, it will happen. You believe that?
No, I don't think so at all.
Okay. So hold on a second. So as someone doing street epistemology, we want to ask questions. Okay. We want to understand. So if we understand correctly, I think what you're saying is that if you believe something with 100% certainty, that something's going to happen to you, that thing will actually happen. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So what is it? What power makes that happen?
I think your own self.
Is it the thoughts that make that happen? Is it the energy you put out that makes that happen? What do you think?
Great question.
I think it's a mixture
Not a terrible
of both,
question.
because as far as the thoughts, like let's just say let's just create a goal. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, so because I worked in real estate since I was like 18, and I've seen many people get in the business and kind of half-ass it and don't get very far. But then I've seen other people that.
Sorry, I'm just going to turn the subtitles off because they already have them. Sorry about that.
Really, they get pumped up by these coaches and blah, blah, and they take every advice that they give them, and they really believe that they're going to be number one. And it might not happen, 1 to 3 years, but their 4th or 5th year, they're the number one in production in their region or whatever. So I really think that if you don't believe
You're
that,
going to walk by fast.
Put all those thoughts.
I'm recording a video right now.
Energy around you doesn't really.
Is it?
Hold on a second. Let's think of an example to see how far he's willing to go with this belief. Okay?
I don't believe it. 1 second.
Okay. So telling him, listen, dude, I don't believe you.
Yeah, I'm like,
Well, here's my question to you. Do you think that that's going to help him reflect on this belief? it's okay to take a stance on it, but the idea here is to really explore how he figured out that this is true. So perhaps a good question might be something like, are there any limitations to this? Like, if I really put 100% confidence, not 100% confidence, if I really put 100%, I commit 100% to thinking that I can actually grow my hand longer than the other one.
There are limits. Yes, there are.
All right, so like that's the weird thing, right? You want them, okay, you want the other person to dig further into their beliefs. And I guess is the point of that to show so that they can show themselves that they're incorrect rather than feeling like someone else is making them feel incorrect. But isn't that that's tough, because no matter what, the questioner is already moving them in a direction as well, especially if you're dealing with someone who's unsure of themselves, right? Can't you move someone in a direction by asking certain questions? Wouldn't you want them to, like, I don't know. It seems like it'd be better served to be more conversational about it, be real about it, because there's going to be, you're not going to be the perfect scientist to where you're like completely separate and there's the experiment happening right there. Even your questions are playing a role in this. Also, secondarily, like, see, he could ask these questions to me and I'd have answers for him. Now, what if my question would be like, what happens if you're dealing with someone who has answers for all your questions? Now what happens? Does it just end with like, okay? Maybe. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with ending like that, but I don't know. It's not only for me when I'm talking to someone and I'm trying to find an answer for something, I will put myself out there almost as like an example as well. Like if I talk about an aspect of conditioning or something like that, like the reason why I interject with that is because, like, oh, if I'm explaining this phenomenon and you're doing it, like, isn't that like a signal, like, who's this guy who's thought about my idea more than I've thought about it? Isn't that like a problem? Fuck. I don't know, maybe they get into that space where, like, maybe I shouldn't be talking about this. Or maybe they get defensive or whatever, but I don't know. It depends on who you're talking to, right? For me, it's more of a reading. I'll read the room. Sometimes I want to strictly just go question. Sometimes I want to fucking say what I want to say. So, like, there is no strategy for me. I'm just, like, these are my ideas, this is what I believe in. If I'm curious about something, I ask questions. Like, I'm being Jordan in all the moments. There is no, formula that I'm working with. The only formulas that I'd be working with are the concepts I have in my mind. Those are the things I deal with. I'm not trying to be a formula with another human being. I'm trying to be me with other people, and hopefully they be themselves as well. Maybe they can recognize that. Like, oh, fuck, you're being real. You're not just here questioning me. Since you're being real, maybe I can be real about it. Maybe I can say, fuck you. I think you're wrong. Fuck you. Like, that's okay, too. That's okay, too. As long as you're real about it. But, all right. Once again, he's talking to a guy who's already unsure of the idea, right? Or might not even believe. Right? Are they role-playing, or does he actually believe in fucking law of attraction? Whatever. Let's play it.
Confidence. 100% confidence. If I really put 100%, I commit 100% to thinking that I can actually grow my hand longer than the other one.
There are limits. Yes, there are.
There's limitations.
Are there not limitations to everything?
Why would there be a limitation with my hand growing but no limitation for something like becoming the best salesman in San Antonio.
There wouldn't be a limitation on either one of them. But is that what you really want? That's where the subconscious part in regards to law of attraction. Like, see, I'm telling you, I would have answers for these questions he's asking. It'd be my version of it, but I'd have fucking answers. This guy does not have answers for this. So that's why he's like, oh, I guess I didn't think about that. I thought about it. Call me arrogant, but straight up, I've thought about it. There was no idea of YouTube, of presenting this. There's no idea of talking to people. These ideas were worked on without any ideas of even saying them out loud. Here we go.
Yes, there are.
There's limitations.
Are there not limitations to everything?
Why would there be a limitation with my hand growing, but no limitation for something like becoming the best salesman in San Antonio?
Could you...
Hold on a second.
Okay.
This is critical right here.
Okay.
See how he's thinking? Don't step on that pause.
Pause.
I guess it
Do this too.
comes down. I guess it comes down to what we were talking about earlier, is like fact or belief. Like,
I'm telling you, bro. Think of the kid in class that gets called on who wasn't paying attention the entire time. He's like, well, it's like when you like. Isn't that what that like? Did this guy actually think about this concept before? So it's like, this isn't. I'd probably have to watch a different video to showcase how the importance of this different version of epistemology called street epistemology. I guess I'd have to watch somewhere where he's talking to someone who actually has answers for everything he's saying, or has at least some form of expertise in the concept they're talking about. All right, here we go.
Interesting.
yeah, I don't have an answer for that. But I don't know. I guess I don't know. I guess with your hand growing, I mean, I don't want to bring up the word science, but let's be real. You can't make your hand grow.
Even if I 100% committed myself to...
See how I wouldn't even, no offense to this guy, but me personally, I wouldn't even trust the answers I'm getting. Because they could, are those actually your answers? That sounds like he pivoted from one conditioning to the other and then used those as responses, in which case you're not actually getting to the person that you're trying to get to, right? As far as here their real answers, what I would have asked is well, if you weren't sure of that, why are you even talking about this idea in the first place? And then it gets darker, right? Because now it's getting closer to home, as opposed to just talking about law of attraction. But, yeah. Skeptical do not use this. But, seriously. Right? I'm wrong, so just don't use any fucking psychological ideas I'm talking about. Throw them to the fucking fire. Use this guy instead. All right, here we go.
Making that happen, using the law of attraction, it wouldn't happen. It only happens in some instances. Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah.
What is it about those two?
Do you see it? See how he asked a question, but he's creating his answer for him. That dude has no fucking clue. But he's so it's it works sometimes, but not. Right? Is that what you're saying? I could easily replace this guy's answers for him, bro. He seems so unconfident. He's fucking flicking his fingernails and shit. All right, there we go. He's playing with some fucking object in his hand.
That make them different. How do we know that there's even a law of attraction making the real estate thing?
I don't put too much stock in the body language, but I pay attention to it.
I really don't know anything, but as far as the law of attraction I think that there's a difference between growing your hand and personal will. So
That's right.
How is the law of attraction limited? Why can't it be used for anything? If it could be used for this, why can't it be used for me wanting to grow my hand?
Because like I just want to answer the questions for him, just so like to show that like that wouldn't work on me. That question would not work over here. It's like, would I actually want to grow my hand? What do I truly, deep down, truly believe? Because it's like, if you can will something into existence, shouldn't you know what you are first to know like which things are you, which things aren't you, so that you're using the all of you to make from some sort of fucking wish. And once you go through that, it's like, oh, now that I know me, I know what I actually want. It has nothing to do with growing my fucking hand. Or maybe it is grow my hand. Then we have to figure out, did their hand grow or not? I know. They break their hand and get swollen. I grew my hand. All right.
I don't know. I guess like I don't know.
If you want to physically express up.
Marinate in the pause.
Marinate in the pause.
Marinate in the pause.
Pause for
You almost
that
want to
pause.
help a person feel comfortably uncomfortable.
Okay.
Okay? That's where the reflection happens. Look at him looking. He's got the 1,000-mile stare here.
Comfortably uncomfortable. Okay. There's some merit to that, but if you're dealing with a person with borrowed ideas, that means there's nothing behind the idea, right? Clearly, he wasn't hasn't done a lot of thinking about the concept in the first, like really deep dive thinking about it. He didn't do any epistemology on the idea itself, right? Like, what is it? Like, what does this really mean? What could it really mean? On and on and so forth. So, I mean, once again, I'm asking, like, what are you actually getting from this person that's actually real? What's the real thing you're getting other than them questioning themselves? Which I get, which is good. That's awesome. That should happen. But as far as like within the discussion itself, what are we actually getting here as an audience and as a street epistemologist or whatever? Like I said, I probably have to watch another video where he talks to someone, you know, with a little more expertise in that area, a little more exposing.
That's gold. Okay? Have you ever thought about the law of attraction in this way before this talk?
No. No.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Guys,
Like, yeah, that's interesting. And like I said, I had zero problems with what this. Mainly because I don't think he's trying to do anything nefarious. I don't like the school coachy type vibe. That's yeah, but that's just I guess a flavor that I don't like. Pause. And once again, it's in the realm of strictly breakdown, which is okay. Breakdown's good, but then what will be the next venture? Like, was there a point to that? Is Anthony's point to say that this is a silly idea, so I'm gonna have you break it down for me, to where like I'm just asking questions and you're doing the job on your own, and after that he doesn't care where it goes, like because you can easily fall into something as simple, like something as silly as that, right? And what makes it silly in my mind is this idea of conditioning, right? To where you're blindly walking within ideas, right? To where this law of attraction thing that most people agree is like a silly idea, at least the one that he's talking about, right? Most people agree that's a silly idea, so it's fun to break that down. But what does it get replaced with? Let's say he goes strictly materialistic, super rationality. Does that mean he's okay now? Or is he just following a new line of conditioning? Blindly, again. So that's where it would be more interesting to me. Right? For me, that'd be more interesting. But it is what it is. All right. That's it for me. There's my reaction. Please subscribe if you like, comment. Wait. Please subscribe if you like. Comment, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think. Comment section. Agree or disagree. Tell me. Don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to Devon's Journey to Recovery GoFundMe link. Oh, and Unapologetics GoFundMe. Both links in the description box. With all that said, get this video a thumbs down.